There is a voice inside you that has been speaking for so long you may not even hear it anymore. It whispers in the morning when you look in the mirror. It comments throughout the day on what you said, what you did, what you should have done differently. This voice knows every mistake you've ever made, every regret you carry, every way you believe you fall short. And here is what I want you to know. With all the love in my heart, healing begins the very moment you choose to speak to yourself differently, not perfectly, not forever, just once. Just one gentle thought offered to yourself in place of the harsh words you've grown accustomed to. That is where everything changes. That single gentle thought is a seed. And like all seeds, it contains within it the potential for transformation you cannot yet imagine. Your body has been listening to your thoughts since the day you were born. Every word you think about yourself, every judgment, every criticism, every moment of self-attack, your body hears it all and responds. When you think harsh thoughts, your shoulders rise toward your ears, your jaw tightens, your breath becomes shallow, caught high in your chest, your stomach clenches. The body does not know the difference between a thought and a physical threat. When you tell yourself you are not good enough, your body prepares for danger. It tenses, it braces, it holds, and over time, this holding becomes so familiar that you forget what softness feels like. You forget that your body is not meant to be a battlefield. It is meant to be a home, and home becomes possible again the moment you offer yourself a gentle thought. Notice right now, as you hear these words, what is happening in your body. Are your shoulders touching your ears? Is your jaw clenched? Is there tightness in your chest or your belly? Just notice. No judgment, no need to fix anything. Simply bring your awareness to the places where you have been holding tension, perhaps for years, in response to the way you have been speaking to yourself. And now, as an experiment, think one kind thought about yourself. It can be simple. It can be as basic as, I am doing my best, or I am learning. Notice what happens. Even if the shift is tiny, even if it feels unfamiliar or awkward, notice if there is even the smallest softening somewhere in your body, a slight drop in your shoulders, a deeper breath, a loosening in your belly. This is your body saying thank you. This is your body responding to gentleness, the way a plant responds to water. You have been thirsty for your own kindness, and your body knows it. The voice that criticizes you did not appear out of nowhere. It was learned. Perhaps it echoes the voice of someone from your past who could not offer you the gentleness you needed. Perhaps it reflects a world that taught you love must be earned through perfection. Perhaps it developed as a misguided attempt to protect you, believing that if it criticized you first, the criticism of others would hurt less. Whatever its origin, this voice has become a habit. And like all habits, it can be changed. Not by fighting it, not by adding self-criticism about your self-criticism, but by gently, patiently introducing a new voice. A voice that speaks to you the way you would speak to someone you truly love. Think of a person in your life you care for deeply, perhaps a child, a dear friend, someone whose heart you would never want to hurt. Imagine that person came to you with a mistake they had made, with shame or fear or regret. Would you tell them they are worthless? Would you list all their flaws? Would you remind them of every time they have failed? Of course not. You would wrap them in understanding. You would remind them of their goodness. You would help them see the lesson without disguise. destroying their spirit. This is how you deserve to be spoken to, by yourself, by the voice in your own mind. You deserve the same gentleness you so freely give to others. Between the moment something happens and the moment you respond to it, there is a space. This space is where your freedom lives. When something goes wrong, when you make a mistake, when you feel you have fallen short, the old pattern is to immediately fill that space with harsh judgment. The critical voice rushes in so quickly you barely notice the gap. But when you practice offering yourself gentle thoughts, something miraculous happens. That space begins to widen. You begin to notice the moment before the criticism arrives, and in that moment you have a choice. You can choose the old familiar path of self-attack, or you can choose something different. You can choose to say, "This is hard, and I am doing my best." You can choose to say, "I am learning, and learning requires mistakes." You can choose to say, "I am human, and humans are imperfect, and that is not only okay, but beautiful." This choice, made in that widening space, is where healing lives, not in never making mistakes, not in suddenly becoming perfect, but in how you meet yourself when things do not go as planned. That is where your power is. That is where your transformation begins. When you speak gently to yourself, something unexpected happens. The gentleness does not stay contained within you. It naturally, organically begins to extend outward. You find yourself more patient with the person who cuts you off in traffic, more understanding with the friend who forgets to call, more compassionate with the stranger who seems angry or afraid. This is not something you have to force or work at. It is simply the natural consequence of filling your own cup first. When you are no longer attacking yourself, you have so much more energy available for genuine connection. When you are no longer consumed with your own perceived inadequacies, you can actually see the people around you more clearly. You notice their struggles. You feel their humanity. And you respond not from a place of judgment, but from a place of recognition. Because you have learned to meet your own imperfection with love, you can meet theirs the same way. The gentle thoughts you offer yourself create ripples that touch everything and everyone in your life. You become a source of healing, not by trying to fix or save anyone, but simply by being someone who has learned to be gentle with themselves. That gentleness is contagious. It gives others permission to soften too. It shows them another way is possible. There is a particular exhaustion that comes from trying to be perfect. It seeps into your bones. It colors every interaction. It makes even joyful moments feel like tests you might fail. You know this exhaustion. You have carried it for so long, and I want to tell you something that might feel radical. You were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to be human, perfectly, beautifully, gloriously human, with all the mess and the mistakes and the learning and the stumbling and the getting back up again. Perfection is not the goal. It never was. The goal is to live fully and authentically as yourself. And that becomes possible when you release the punishing voice that demands flawlessness and replace it with gentle thoughts that acknowledge reality. You do not need to be perfect to be worthy of love. You do not need to be perfect to be deserving of kindness. You do not need to be perfect to matter, to belong, to be enough. You are enough right now, in this moment, with all your supposed flaws and all your perceived failures. You are enough because you exist, because you are here, because you are trying. And gentle thoughts remind you of this truth when the world tries to convince you otherwise. Making gentle thinking a daily practice does not require hours of meditation or complex rituals. It requires only small, consistent moments of choosing kindness toward yourself. In the morning, before you even get out of bed, you can place your hand on your heart and think, "I welcome this new day with gentleness." When you look in the mirror, instead of immediately cataloging everything you wish were different, you can meet your own eyes and think, "I am doing my best, and my best is enough." When you make a mistake during the day, you can pause, take a breath, and think, "I am learning. This is part of being human." Before sleep, you can review your day not with criticism, but with compassion, acknowledging what was hard and offering yourself the same comfort you would offer a tired child. These moments are medicine. They are drops of healing that accumulate over time, gradually softening the hardened places within you. You might keep a small journal by your bed and each night write down one gentle thought you offered yourself that day. Not because you need to prove anything or track your progress, but because writing it down honors the practice, makes it real, reminds you that you are choosing differently. Or you might simply place sticky notes in places you will see them, with phrases like, "You are worthy of gentleness," or "Treat yourself like someone you love." These are not empty affirmations. They are reminders of a truth you are learning to embody. They are seeds you are planting in the garden of your consciousness. Healing is not a lightning bolt. It is not a single moment of revelation after which everything is suddenly, permanently different. Healing is a process, gradual and gentle, like the way spring arrives. One day there is snow on the ground and the trees are bare and winter feels endless. And then, so slowly you almost miss it, things begin to shift. A bud appears, the air softens, the light changes, and one day you realize spring has arrived, not because of one dramatic event, but because of thousands of small changes accumulating over time. This is how healing through gentle thoughts works. You will not think one kind thought and suddenly be transformed. You will think one kind thought and then another, and then another. Some days it will feel natural. Some days it will feel like the hardest thing you have ever done. Some days you will forget entirely and fall back into old patterns of self-criticism, and that is okay. That is part of the process. What matters is that you keep returning. What matters is that you do not use your forgetting as more ammunition for self-attack. What matters is that you trust the process. Trust that change is happening even when you cannot see it. Trust that every gentle thought you offer yourself is reshaping your inner landscape in ways that will reveal themselves in time. There is no rush. There is no deadline. There is only this moment and this moment and this moment, each one an opportunity to choose gentleness again. One of the deepest forms of healing available to you is the ability to forgive yourself, not to excuse harm you may have caused or to bypass accountability, but to release the grip of shame that keeps you locked in the past. Shame is a prison. It convinces you that you are your worst moment, your biggest mistake, your most painful failure. It tells you that you deserve to suffer, that punishment is the only appropriate response to imperfection. But shame heals nothing. It changes nothing. It only keeps you small and stuck and separate from your own heart. Gentle thoughts are the key that unlocks the door of that prison. When you can look at your past with compassion instead of condemnation, when you can acknowledge that you did the best you could with the awareness and resources you had at the time, When you can see yourself as a person who has been hurt and has hurt others and is still worthy of love, that is when forgiveness becomes possible. Forgiveness does not mean what happened was okay. It means you are no longer willing to carry the weight of it in a way that crushes your spirit. It means you are choosing to meet your past self with the same gentleness you are learning to offer your present self. And in that meeting, something releases. The stories you have been telling yourself begin to loosen their grip. The identity you built around your mistakes begins to dissolve, and underneath all of it, you find what was always there: your essential goodness, your inherent worthiness, your capacity for love. This is who you really are. Everything else was just layers of protection and pain, and gentle thoughts help you peel those layers away with care, revealing the truth of your being. Your heart has always been your home, but perhaps you moved out long ago. Perhaps you left because it felt safer to live in your head, where you could analyze and control and protect yourself from feeling too much. Perhaps you left because staying meant feeling the pain you were trying so hard to avoid. Perhaps you left because no one taught you that your heart was a place worth inhabiting. But your heart has been waiting for you, patiently, faithfully, all this time, and gentle thoughts are the path that leads you back. Each time you offer yourself kindness instead of criticism, you take one step closer to home. Each time you meet your own pain with compassion instead of judgment, you clear away one more obstacle between you and your own heart. Each time you choose to see yourself through the eyes of love instead of through the eyes of fear, you remember who you really are. Coming home to your own heart is not a destination. It is a practice. Some days you will feel deeply connected to yourself, present and open and full of love. Other days you will feel far away, lost in old patterns and familiar defenses. And that is okay. That is the nature of being human. What matters is that you keep choosing to return. Keep choosing gentleness. Keep choosing to speak to yourself with love, because every time you make that choice, you strengthen the pathway home. You make it easier to find your way back. You remind yourself that you are always welcome here in your own heart, in your own being, exactly as you are. There will be moments when offering yourself gentle thoughts feels impossible, when the pain is too great, the shame too deep, the self-judgment too entrenched. In those moments, you do not need to suddenly transform your thinking. You do not need to force positivity or pretend everything is fine. You simply need to acknowledge what is true. This is hard, I am struggling, and I am doing the best I can. Even that simple acknowledgement is a form of gentleness. It is a way of saying, I see you, I am here with you, you are not alone. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is simply not make things worse. Not pile on additional criticism, not attack yourself for feeling what you feel. Just allow what is happening to be here without adding more suffering on top of it. And from that place of simple allowing, of basic kindness toward your own struggle, healing can begin. Not because you have fixed anything or transcended anything, but because you have stopped fighting yourself long enough to let the natural intelligence of your body and your being start to work. Your system knows how to heal. It has always known. But it cannot heal when it is under constant attack from within. Gentleness creates the safety your system needs to relax, to open, to begin the natural process of restoration that is your birthright. The journey of learning to think gently toward yourself is not about reaching a destination where you never have another critical thought. It is about changing your relationship with those thoughts when they arise. It is about developing the capacity to notice the harsh voice without immediately believing it or obeying it. It is about creating enough space inside yourself that you can hold both the criticism and the compassion, the fear and the love, the old patterns and the new possibilities. You are large enough to contain it all. You always have been. And as you continue this practice of offering yourself gentle thoughts day after day, moment after moment, you will notice shifts. Subtle at first, then more pronounced. You will notice that you recover more quickly from setbacks, that you are kinder to the people around you, that you have more energy for the things that matter because you are no longer spending it all on self-attack. You will notice that joy becomes more accessible, that creativity flows more freely, that you can be present in your life in ways that were not possible when you were constantly at war with yourself. This is not magic. This is simply what happens when you stop poisoning yourself with harsh thoughts and start nourishing yourself with gentle ones. Your whole system responds. Your whole life responds. And the healing that begins with one gentle thought extends outward in ways you cannot predict or control, touching everything, transforming everything, bringing you home to the truth of who you have always been, a being worthy of love, capable of healing, deserving of your own gentleness. This is where you begin, right here, right now, with one gentle thought, and then another and another. Welcome home.